Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another round of the Z1 Dashboard Simracersworld TCR Winter Series here from Donington Park, and a wonderful venue to have our final round of the season. Peter MacKay alongside me, Chaz Draycott in the booth, or DJ Chazlington as he's just called me. That's my old trading name. But Peter, we've had a real laugh covering this season, haven't we? And it's a great place to finish out the entire sort of saga as such.
It certainly is, yeah. Donington Park is a circuit which I really do associate with touring cars. I mean, who could forget when Matt Neal won £250,000 for being the first ever independent driver to win a British touring car race? Those really were the days of plenty, weren't they?
They were indeed. And you know what, actually, I will have to mention this, but in the British Boring Car Championship, which I run, the first independent to win a round was Calvin Dent, who was actually driving a car replicating that livery, and it was here in the feature race, unbelievably. It was honestly like history repeated itself. It was quite magical. But
did he stall in the pits as well?
Unfortunately not. I said to him he would have got full marks if he would have done that, but either way, it was a mega achievement. So the drivers, though, are just out in qualifying at the moment. And, well, one person that we know is probably going to be a happy bunny tonight is Corentin Guinez. We said last week he's pretty much wrapped up the title, Peter, but, you know, there's mathematical chances of Mr. Damien Owen Harris doing it as well, but to be honest, we know how good Corentin is as he goes fastest.
Yeah, he's been absolutely exemplary all season. He's the 19-year-old from Elbeuf. He has mimicked his countryman Laurent Aiello, who won the British Touring Car Championship in 1999. But of all the 4 races at Donington in that particular season, Chaz, Laurent Aiello didn't win any of them. It was, by my calculations, the only circuit he didn't win at in that particular year. So who knows? Maybe that's an omen.
You never know. I would be very upset to rethink about Laurent Aiello not winning a race. Michael Blake is a driver that really needs to show us what he's got tonight, to be honest, and that's not a is Bram Van Putten decides he's in a different class. That's not a Rick and Morty reference, but Michael Blake's
in a class of his own.
Yeah, exactly. He has been. He's actually in a new team as well, Simrc.de, and there he is in the wonderful new livery. Now that's going to get confusing against all of the Fiercely Forward cars a little bit, I think.
Do you know the funny thing? I was winding up a gag there, Chaz, and you kind of stole my thunder there, because I was thinking exactly the same thing. I don't know if it's because it's a Fiercely Forwards car, so it's just up ahead, but I tell you what, it's good drafting camouflage though, isn't it? And now is that Damien Harris in that Fiercely Forward car? He's like, I don't mind towing my teammate. Wait a minute, number 23. Now, Luke Holroyd has said, where are the Porsches? Well, just imagine they're all in a Sunoco livery and they say Porsche and Audi written on them. It's owned by the same company, close enough.
That'll do, yeah. We'll stick with that for this evening, just to round out the championship. But yeah, we've had a lot of amazing action so far this season. We've had so much to watch, so much to call the shots on. These races, you will be surprised, everybody, at just how mental this can be, this championship, with how much can go on in one go. Ashley Gaffal has decided to fall off the edge of the circuit and pull it over. This is Daniele Giudici. Fantastic bloke, Daniele. And very good racer. He's taken a few wins in his class this season. And I believe, if I just have a quick look at the Academy class, he is leading that class by 54 points at the moment. So he is close to taking that title, essentially. He's in the box seat at the moment. Inconsistency, it's Anton Dupin, but he's only 16 points ahead of his rival, which is, as I look back at the spreadsheet, Paul King. I thought it was Paul King. But, you know, the consistency class, I mean, we had it in the Formula 3 series as well, which has its own all-star race tomorrow, everybody. It's Imola. Unfortunately, I will not be able to commentate. I'm unavailable tomorrow evening, but Jack Werrell and Edward May will be calling the shots on that, the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series All-Star race at Imola. But this middle class, Peter, as we often get in the sort of middle class of championships with more than 2, it's just so tantalisingly close all of the time, isn't it?
Absolutely, as competitive as middle management in a big company. It's yeah, dog eat dog out there. Every man or lady for themselves. Just perfect timing there for Jessica Myers in the Corgi Mobile, the Cherry Cola Fiercely Forward Corgi Mobile, one of our favourite cars in the championship. And I have to say, Daniele Guidici, he just sounds like an Italian touring car driver, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's
the leader of the academy class. And actually, do you remember in the year 2000 when super touring really went? It really got a bit too indulgent and imploded on itself, and that was when Ford really got a bit silly and had three cars built by ProDrive, built out of unobtainium. But it was actually, of all the races they won that year, Gabriele Tarquini managed to beat them here at Donington in a, remember the Redstone Honda Accord? Honda, yes, the Honda Accord, yes. Yeah, a really nice car. Which now, was that still in the West Surrey days? It might have been.
I think it was. Yeah,
it certainly was before that with the previous one.
Yeah, because the 99 one just had Honda on it. The 2000 one was Redstone and Caliber as well, or Caliber as you could say.
Non-alcoholic lager. It's almost as bad as Recorderlic.
I'm not on that today, actually. I've actually got a drink from one of the alcohol retailers of the year, Aldi, one of their finest Nordic berry ciders, which is wonderful. But don't drink on the job, everybody. I certainly don't. Corentin Guinez is only 69 thousandths, never mind 6 thousandths of a second ahead of Bram van Putten now for the top spot. And with it being a short lap round here, I mean, these cars are doing 1 minute 11s at the top of the field, 1 minute 12s and 13s a little bit further down. We're going to see some very, very close times. I mean, the top, how many? Top 21 are covered by less than a second. That's just, it's almost vile, isn't it?
It's almost as vile as Scott Malcolm's language in post-race interviews.
Yes, we had some colourful language from Scott last week, but it was great fun.
Spot the man from Scotland.
It was great fun nonetheless. And it's Scott's interview really highlighted what this championship's been about. You know, there's been so much fun going on and off track as well. And I mean, we've loved it up here in the booth, and hopefully tonight will be another example of why this series is so brilliant. But ahead of tonight, Peter, I did want to line this up, and I was considering not asking this, but do you have a sort of driver of the season so far that you've enjoyed watching, rather than just be like someone who's performed the best, but like the driver that you've really enjoyed watching the most?
Oh, that's a good one. That is a very good one. I mean, there are some obvious answers, of course. I'm going to go with Jessica Myers, because the thing I like about Jessica is that she has absolutely zero fear of squaring up to anybody, and that is what being a touring car driver is all about. If you have to put someone in the fence, so be it. I mean, it worked for this year's British Touring Car Champion.
Oh! He's still my beating heart. Wow.
Now, dear viewers, I just say that to wind my esteemed colleague up. That's all. I don't really mean it. I do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're coming up to McLean's where he crashed this year.
Jesus. Right.
Well, that's me sacked.
It depends on what Gian likes, I suppose. But for me, you know what? I've asked that question and as if I already had an answer myself, but I don't.
I've thrown you off there, sorry.
No, to be fair, I'd say Fraser Smith for his unending appreciation of the flash headlights button, to be fair. We saw that last week the triples have made a difference to the full Sim Racing driver's performance, so that race win certainly helped him. Keanu Bourguignon's up in third. That's a mega performance so far from him. But to be honest, I think Bram van Putten. Bram has always been there trying to take the fight to Corentin Guinez, succeeding on occasion. But he's just always been there or thereabouts, and I think for me he's been probably one, other than Corentin, who undoubtedly would be everybody else's driver of the season, he's just been that consistent thorn in the side for him. And I think the way he's been battling and the way he's been managing his races has been brilliant. So for me, I'd say definitely Brown, I reckon.
I think that's a very good shout. Yeah, he's not let it get him down. He's always been right there. And you know, it's the sort of thing where one or two things the other way, and he could be the one coming into this round with a comfortable championship lead. I mean, it really was that close all season long. And Of course, a relatively short season, 6 rounds by my reckoning. So when we go to a full season of 10 rounds, you never know. That consistency could play off well. I mean, that's something that Corrington Greenhouse hasn't been short of either, let's be honest. And do you know one thing though? I think Norbert Leitner, he's got a wee bit more promise than we've seen in terms of his results. I think he's got easy podium potential. I think it just has to come together for him. And as we know, in touring cars, sometimes you can just get in a bit of a funk. And if, as we see Bram Van Putten, that's an alternative way to avoid giving someone a tow. But but yeah, it's one of these ones where just a little bit of a loss of momentum and boom, you're 5 places back, and then you're another 5 places back, and then you can't make them up again. So it's that type of racing where, yeah, your racecraft is so important. So I think Norbert Leitner's got the pace, and I think, yeah, you never know, we could see him fighting for some podiums today.
We could indeed. Now, interestingly enough, Paul King, who's second in the Consistency Class Championship, is currently the fastest driver in qualifying out of those guys. Anton Dupin is 6th in class, behind Bram Class, Jessica Myers, Jean-Louis Deschamps, Michael Blake, and then, of course, he lies 6th. Gregory Vranks is not having an easy evening by the look of it. Gregory is currently down in 21st place and 15th and last in the precision class, which is not like Gregory. Must be that M badge on the back of his car, the fake M badge, slowing him down because he wants everybody
Halford's M badge.
Yeah, he wants everybody to think he's got an M3, but he's actually got a 320D. And it's like...
it is even in Halford's colours as well.
Oh, okay, it is. Oh, don't tell Ian that. He'd absolutely hate that. Right then, Corrington Greenhouse on pole position then from Bram Van Putten and Keanu Bourguignon. Good to see him up there. Matthias Latiche 4th ahead of Fraser Smith and Damien Owen Harris. Then it's Naveed Hussein and Miguel Freitas with Mark Woodhouse and Chris Wood rounding out your top 10. We then have Mats Borg Anderson alongside Norbert Leitner on the 6th row of the grid with Matthew Crisp and Ben Thayens on row 7. Paul King then leads the consistency class from Bram class with Jessica Myers and Jean-Louis Deschamps on row 9. Then it's Michael Blake and Anton Dupin rounding out your 20. Gregory Vranks, who we were just looking at then, is 21st with Scott Malcolm in 22nd place, followed by Neil Stevenson and Ross Nicholson on row 12. Then it's Niles de Kuiper alongside Daniele Giudici with Scotty Angelo and Jason Rowe on row 14. We then have Joachim Gulbrandsen and Ryan Walker at the back end of your top 30 with Niels Manshanden and Rob Jackson on row 16. Then it's Ashley Gaffall and Craig Schill and Jason Garara at the back in 35th with Bart Daleman acting as the steward inside the session at the back of the field. So, another 20-minute race before us. Don't forget, everybody, 2 20-minute races back-to-back. No session between them. Race 2 being the finishing order, the grid for race 2, sorry, being the finishing order of race 1, and then the top 10 reversed for the final race of the night. But can Corrington Greenhouse get another race win here at Donington Park? We will have to see. This is going to be round 16 of the Z1 Dashboard Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. The first race of the final 3 of the season in this wonderful 6-week championship. We've got a bit of blinking from Paul King in the middle of the field, but it looks like everybody is ready to go. We're just going to have to wait the full time because Bart Daleman is in the session and obviously will not be taking to the grid unless he wants to have some fun and punt people out of the way. But any second now, we should have some lights, and then we should have some green ones, or no lights essentially, to give us the start of the race. Here we go then. 20 minutes around Donington Park National is away. Cars all hop off the line nicely. Looks like a good start for Greenhouse, good start for Van Putten. Keanu Bourguignon gets a good run, so too does Damien Harris. Look at Fraser Smith down the inside there. He's going to try and get ahead. It's going to be a little bit naughty into the middle of the pack. Looks alright, to be fair, though. I mean, everyone doing a good job keeping it nice and clean so far, Peter. It always gets a bit messy down this run, though, to the old hairpin, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, Craner curves. You know, they always say if you haven't crashed down Craner curves before, you're about to. It's certainly in the motorcycle world, it is revered, like almost a rite of passage to crash there. Of course, we're going underneath the bridge where Nigel Mansell crashed, and Matthew Crisp, he's gone rally crossing in his Audi for fiercely forward. Well, he was fiercely in the air there just for a second. And no, that's big. He's given Daniele Giudici a big nudge, and he's off into the gravel.
Oh, Daniele, that was a strange one. It sort of straightened the car up instantly on him there. That was a really weird one, and he's having some sort of trouble with the car, it seems. That's a real big hit for Daniele's championship. There's a hit as well. Oh, Corrington's been punted into the chicane by Bram van Putten. Well, Bram Van's putting his nose in where it shouldn't be, I think. He's showing a bit of respect, though, and saying, look, I'm not going to go with you. But that means Matthias Attij is going to go to the front of the pack here. He's overtaken Keanu Bourguignon as well and made 3 places in 1 lap. Fraser Smith going down the inside as well. Then Damien Owen Harris wants down the inside of Guinez. Bram van Putten has been, well, they've been putting him out to dry at the moment because he has been hung out there completely by Naveed Hussain and Mark Woodhouse. Wow, feisty stuff. But good respect, though, from Van Putten to let Guinez go ahead as there's more contact and more Naveed Hussain. Who else would it be? He's just constantly caught up in it, 007.
Yep, get on the flasher. That's it. Yep, fair game.
Doesn't need Q to install that on his Aston Martin, does he?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's an interesting one. A bit of controversy there. A bit of a. No, it shouldn't. So, well, of course, Bram van Putten is. He's Dutch, isn't he? So will he be Peter Cox? He could be Peter Cox, and Corrington Guinez will be Laurent Aiello.
I remember in 2000 that McLean's Cox got punted off big time. It was his first race for Honda that year, I believe. I can't remember. I think it might have been Plato that hit him off. I mean, who else would it be? But
quite likely.
Yeah, he gave him a real send at McLean's. The cars sort of hooked together, as these TCR cars do. You know, we've seen it before. Now this is Mats Borg Anderson just behind Chris Wood. He's watching Norbert Leitner ahead, try and defend this position. You can see a little bit of a twitch there to the left, bit of corrective oversteer on the way in. These cars do like to move on the brakes. You can just see that ultimate train of cars all the way down the hill. It's a wonderfully scenic circuit, Donington Park. Really is a legendary one, right near East Midlands Airport as well, so the inner nerd in me absolutely loves it. I get to watch planes and cars all day. But look at this climb up the hill now. It's so close around here. It's a natural touring car circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's made for it. It's absolutely made for it. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And yeah, almost it's great that we didn't lose it to the absolute mess that was the effort to get Formula One here. That's usually a byword for financial ruin. And it's brilliant that they've got under the guidance of MSV, the circuit is very much back to its former glory, actually, I would say. Would be great. Of course, we get the World Superbike guys continue to come here. They had the first ever World Superbike race here, but yeah, great to see some more world-class motorsport here because it would certainly deserve it. But this is really shaking up that order. That just as we see Corrington Guinez getting a big move up the inside there of our defending champion, outgoing champion, Miguel Freitas. He's had a very valiant defence of his title.
Yeah, it was rough early on in the season, wasn't it, for him? He struggled early on, but got back to grips with the car again. And to be fair, I mean, his results at the latter end of the season have been a lot better.
They have, yeah, definitely. As you see, Norbert Leitner up into the top 10, but we've got a problem for Joachim Gulbrandsen, who is going slow.
Oh, that was Niels Manschanden. He's already got a lot of damage on the front of the car, but yeah, big move over on the brakes there by Joachim, unfortunately. He full sent that, you could say, across to the left. Now, Fraser Smith is going to have to full send this through the chicane here because right behind him is Damien Owen Harris, and he has his championship rival, Corrington Guinez, behind. You're not going to help yourself into there. Damien smacks the curb. Flipping heck. Look at that, and see, he's slowed Fraser down. Oh, and he's moving around all over the place. Oh, Fraser's on the button again. Now, Chris is saying, I know what you're doing, mate. I know you're flashing that button. There's, big send down the inside by Fraser. You can see he's driving angry. Oh, there's contact. They rub together. Oh, that's a little bit naughty. Runs him out of road. Damien won't be pleased with that. But to be fair, I don't really think Damien should have put that move on because he's always going to slow him down. We're going to have to look at that as well. But look, he goes down the inside, and they're always going to slow each other down here. Now, it's what goes on afterwards because he runs wide. He's on his line, which is fair enough. Goes over to the left, and Fraser's on the right, and it's that block. He just blocks him on the right, doesn't he, and makes what you could say is unnecessary contact again.
Yeah, a little bit of tit for tat there, isn't it, in the two separate incidents. I'm sure it'll be looked at, as it always is, but touring car racing is a a notch above on the aggression scale, that's for sure. But Fraser Smith has got through. Actually, to be fair to Fraser, had a big old look to really snap straight back and not let Damien Harris get into his rhythm. As whoa, I think that's Guidici off on the right hand side. I think.
Yeah, I think he's had a previous issue.
Down.
He had another accident before, actually. Let's have a look back. This is the lap before it. So he's already on his own after whatever happened on the first lap. Because the car didn't seem to be behaving itself. Oh, on cold tyres, the rear's just gone. And yeah, then he's going to recover from then on, and he's just going to stay off the circuit and out of everybody's way. But it's a real shame that down in 32nd place now, so needs to crack on with it. Niles Kuiper is leading that class at the moment. Doing a fine job there. But this train in the middle is where it's at again. Inside the top 10, we've got just this epic train of cars.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff, isn't it? But Matthias de Tige, the Belgian karting champion at national level, is doing a great job right now in the Simracersworld esports machine, the number 37 car. Actually pulling out a pretty sizable gap in touring car terms, so really getting into his rhythm now is Matthias de Tige with Cano Bourguignon in the Flemish Simsport car. But look at that, Corentin Guinez, even that little bit of argy-bargy into the final chicane at the Fogarty S's at Goddard's as well. As well, he hasn't let him get him down. He's right up there, fastest lap of the race, half a second quicker than Cano Bourguignon that time around.
Yeah, just highlighting how quick he's been this season. And how consistent as well. No matter what happens, he's just always there, putting the pace in lap after lap. Just looks so menacing as well. That car looks great with that HM Engineering livery on it too. And yes, I do enjoy the spec map. The matte black on it with the very, very shiny, almost chrome red all over it as well. They do have very shiny cars, HM Engineering. Behind him, Fraser Smith, Bram Van Putten, and then Damien Harris. The only car inside the top 15 that is currently where he started on the grid. And he's going to be a bit frustrated with that from Fraser earlier. I mean, Rob Sutherland has said in the YouTube chat, you need to mute the session chat because Damien's screaming at people again. So, unsurprisingly not happy, as always that. I think Scott Malcolm there was getting out of the way of everyone. He's had an issue early on, it seems. But, yeah, to be honest, Damien could be unhappy with that, but he moved across again to defend from Fraser very abruptly, not knowing that Fraser already had no overlap. So it's a bit of an odd one to try and call, because
the favour was well and truly repaid about 500 yards later.
I'd say so. Yeah, that's a very good point. I'd say so. Yeah, it was certainly a, oh look, you like being squeezed to the edge of the circuit, do you? Here you go. But Bram Van Putten is putting him under pressure at the moment for good old Fraser.
Okay, I've given you 5 of those. Some new material, Chaz, I think.
Yeah, I think I do need it, to be honest. To be honest, Porsche Sport have pulled out some material, and basically now that Bart has muted the chat in iRacing, they're asking if they can mute you as well, mate.
Well, that's just rude.
I think the Mew, who's just also commented, has changed his name to the Mew button. Right, moving on very quickly. Corentin Guinez is now up to second place. He has just got past Keanu Reeves, Beef Bourguignon as we call him, the Belgian driver, and looks like he didn't make it too difficult for Corentin. He sort of knows that Corentin's on a roll at the moment, and to be honest, it's clever driving because he's trying to move forward with him, isn't he? He's just trying to potentially work together to make sure that he doesn't get slowed up and pushed back into the clutches of the other guys. But that is a hell of a train to have behind you, isn't it?
Well, I tell you what, that move is quite incredible there from Corentin Guinez. That move was as incredible as Luke Holroyd's man bun is awful. I will not be muted by a man with a man bun.
I was not expecting that. And to be honest, I used to have a man bun as well. Mine was atrocious.
Of course you did.
I did, yeah. And it was just as atrocious. It wasn't really a bun. It was more of like a man acorn. It was just this stupid little talk. I don't know why I did it. I enjoyed having long hair, but yeah, anyway. There's a little bit of an inter-team battle going on here with Miguel Freitas. Look, by the look of it, holding up Mark Woodhouse and Naveed Hussein and every other man that tries to chase him down, because they're just starting to bunch up a little bit. Naveed Hussein's actually forcing the issue here. And, oh, there's a little gap there on the left for Naveed. Mark doesn't want to move over, or does he? No, he's on the brakes. You can hear the cars just bottoming out along these curves. It's a horrible noise.
That sounds expensive.
It does. It sounds like inner arch lining being rubbed away. As Norbert Leitner, well, his positions are being rubbed away at the moment because it seems like he took too much of said curb and got a slow down. Naveed is trying to pursue this around the outside. 007 pulling off an absolute blinder there. You could say he's got a golden eye for opportunities. Oh, it's... Well, Mark Woodhouse manages to stay in front. They both managed to make it through the old hairpin. And now, Chris Wood's on this as well. I suppose you could say Naveed might die another day, but I'll tell you one thing. Oh, no! Oh, Mark blocked it off a little too late there for me. Naveed gives him a push. Oh, well, it's all gone to pot.
Dearie me. Oh, he's going... Yeah.
He'll be fuming.
Dr. No.
I was trying to line up a pun for it, but I didn't have one.
Yeah, I'm running out of...
Oh,
no. Spectre map.
Oh, Mark, right, I'm going to retire from commentary. Oh, I can't see. Right, so Corentin Guinness can certainly see. He's just put the fastest lap of the race in. And he is on a roll once again here because, to be honest, we expect this from the first races, don't we? You know, and he's just got this consistent pace that he can just deliver lap after lap after lap.
There is a monumental punch-up happening behind going down Craner curves. Fraser Smith, Brand Van Putten, Damien Harris, Miguel Freitas in there as well. Keanu Bourguignon. I think this is about to erupt into a melee. I predict a riot, in the words of the Kaiser Chiefs. And is there anybody left in here? Probably not after these lot are finished.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's... go on.
Damien Harris, you can just see his eyes widening going, I'm catching you, Smith. I can flash my headlights as well.
Well, I suppose on the note of the Kaiser Chiefs, you could call this like the angry mob, to be fair. But they are honestly a real mob, as, well, Corentin Guinness all over.
As if.
Matthias Tessage not around the outside. Oh. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? He has got it done as well. Oh, it's honestly just... I don't understand. Well, he'll never say never again. Unbelievable. But still, Matthias Tessage holding on to second place in this lot. Fraser Smith is now... He's just thinking, which yellow and black car is that behind me? Is it the Simrc one, or is it the one that wants to push me off the circuit? Undoubtedly. He's going to be worrying, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Fraser Smith is... he's certainly not been shy getting his elbows out, and he's had elbows dug into him as well. So it's he's been right in the rough and tumble at the front of the pack. But Brand Van Putten's just showing his colours there, in these new colours in the mirrors, hopping over the curb, skipping a jump. And I tell you what, Damien Harris, he looks in the mood here. Here we go. Using a little bit of fiercely forward / simrc.de camouflage here. Team Bumblebee, if you like. Oh, goodness me. And Brand Van Putten tries to do the Guinness around the outside. I think he might be able to seal this off as they come down Craner curves down towards the old hairpin, which is quite ironic because it is a bit of a hang-on for dear life corner. And there goes Fraser. Oh, brilliant. No. Oh, not so brilliant. Bit of aero wake there, shall we say?
Yeah, that was
wheel-to-wheel
contact just... Oh, no. We see it every so often in touring car racing, and wheel-to-wheel contact is just the worst. The absolute worst, unfortunately. And it means now that Fraser Smith is still at the front of this pack, but Damien Owen Harris is right behind him. We'll have to have a quick look at how that all came about from Damien's point of view. You can see the contact there. Sorry, this is from Bram's point of view. That tap puts it sideways. He's trying to turn left and nothing's happening.
Crunch. Yeah, funnily enough, I was speaking to former British touring car driver Mike Epps the other day, and he's saying when he first got into a touring car, he'd mainly been doing single-seaters, where you normally don't touch each other. He says, but in the British Touring Car Championship, he says probably 3 or 4 times a lap, you're making some form of little bit of contact with another driver, usually. And he says, it's loud. He says, you don't realise how loud it is. He says, it's kind of like having a small accident in a road car, if you can imagine that noise for anyone who's been unlucky enough to hear it. I certainly was. I made it a bit of a national sport when I was learning to drive, and well, in the early stages of having my license, I smashed up a lot of cars, and so I know what he's talking about. But yeah, it's just a wee rub can actually be can be a little bit kind of unsettling.
Don't take that sentence out of context, anybody. But I know what you mean. Like the door-to-door contact can just, because you're in the car as well, it amplifies because you're inside the tin can of noise that it's coming from. So you get this horrible screeching and scraping noise. It's just horrible. But someone that's not worrying about any of that at the moment is Keanu Bourguignon. He may have a very big train of cars still chasing him down, headed by Fraser Smith, but he's doing a fine job of it at the moment. The guys behind it are quicker, but he's not got too long to hold on now. 3 minutes. And I think Fraser's going to go for this, but you've got to think if he does it in a place where he slows himself up, Damien Harris is going to fly down the inside and take advantage of it. We've got a battle further back as well. Ben Thanes is just trying to climb further up the order again. He's just got past Niles de Kuiper, who is still leading the academy class. Paul King, importantly, is leading the consistency class at the moment. Anton Dupin is 4th in that class after gaining 4 places as well. He's 16th overall. But this is the real one. Oh, never mind. Keanu Bourguignon's already lost the spot, and Fraser's gone through. Damien's probably lost the plot at the moment. He's probably scratching his head.
He wasted no time there. He knew as soon as he saw Fraser go through, he knew he had to go through at the same point. He knew he had to follow through. It was his only option.
It's horrible.
You just breathe into that hairpin because it's a hairpin chicane, because it's so quick through there as well, but really tricky to get it right. And I suspect Damien Harris here, he is wanting to have his revenge, even if it's not in this race. Of course, if he finishes behind Fraser, he will get another go at him in race 2. And I use that language quite deliberately because I feel there is a score to be settled between this pair.
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. The battle will continue throughout the night. You can guarantee that. There's everybody pushing hard here. Keanu Bourguignon trying to hold on to a top 5. Trying to do that ahead of Fraser Smith, though. Sorry, Miguel Freitas. Apologies, boys. It's not easy when Miguel is a reigning champion. Naveed Hussein's car looks like it's been substituted in for the Tyson Fury-Anthony Joshua fight at the front end. And then behind him, Chris Wood and Norbert Leitner, who are always there inside the top 10. These pair never say never. Well, they'll never say never again, anyway. Corentin Guinez still leading this now, 1.4 seconds out in front. And he's just about to start the final lap of the race.
Notice that Naveed Hussein doesn't necessarily have a strong bond with his teammates. There's no one around him.
Yeah, that's true. And you always have these Team Mad cars inside the top 10. Oh, that looked like it could have got very sketchy there through Red Gate.
I'm disappointed in you, Chaz. You missed that one.
Oh, Bond. I'm sorry. Oh, good Lord. I really... Yeah, the thing is, when it comes to giving out a pun, yeah, I'll be on it, but honestly, when receiving puns is... I'm clearly not switched on enough for that. Definitely not. It's not the cider. But Keanu Bourguignon, he is holding on here, you know. He's still holding his ground. He's not defending too hard at the minute from Miguel Freitas. And Miguel's not attacking too hard, but we've got to think with just a few corners to go, he might have a go at chucking it down the inside, but isn't this a familiar sight? Into the final chicane for the final time in round 16 in the Z1 dashboard Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. Corentin Guinez takes the win. He had to work a little bit harder for that one, but what a beautiful drive. Another win for his tally. Matthias de Tige gets second. Fraser Smith flashes his way to a podium. I'd love to see what Damien Harris has to say to him after that. Keanu Bourguignon and Miguel Freitas side by side across the line. only a few thousandths between them as Naveed Hussain puts on an air show near East Midlands Airport. Paul King wins the consistency class, and in the academy class it is going to be Niles de Kuiper, unless we see a very silly mistake here at this final chicane. Niles is going to take the checkered flag, 24th overall. But a nice drive to go and take the honours there. As look at that ahead. Wow, Ben Thanes, Ashley Gaffall and Mark Woodhouse has been classified very far down. I think Mark... Oh no, Mark had the incident earlier on, didn't he? Apologies, that's my mistake. But it's another win for Corentin Guinez here, Peter. And, well, like I said, he had to work a bit harder for that one, didn't he?
He really did, yeah. And strangely though, although it put him out of sequence early on, actually, by not having Bram Van Putten on his case, and of course, Bram can follow Corentin, getting past him's another matter, but Bram can follow him all day long, and we've seen that in so many rounds. But of course, with him being split up a little bit, it didn't end up that way. So that kind of allowed Corentin to make his way through the field, which might give us a little indication of what we can expect from him in race 3 with the reverse grid from the top 10. It was, yeah, it was superb, and it wouldn't have taken much, and Matthias would have been the winner comfortably. It was just Corentin Guinez really on a charge was the only difference there. He was doing a really super job. I've thought of a new nickname for Fraser Smith, Chaz.
Go on.
We could call him Flash, or Flash Gordon, if you wish. Maybe he's trying to be like Gordon Shedden.
I don't know why.
Good guy to try and emulate, I suppose.
I just want to apologise, everybody. I was muted then. I do have a button to mute on my stream deck, but I can still hear myself coming through. So, you know, I don't think I'm muted. Apologies. I do not blame the cider. I just blame my sheer incompetence, to be fair, with trying to use a stream deck. I do actually have it so that when I have it muted, the whole stream deck lights up red. But still, that's clearly not enough to catch my attention. But I've got a lot to look at here, and we've got a wonderful grid to look at for race 2. Any picks for this one, Peter? We've seen Guinez run away here, and I think that, no offence to Dettige or Smith, but I think unless Corentin has an issue or a bit of a struggle in this first lap, I think he could run away with this one as well.
Yeah, it could well be. It's going to take a big ask from the other competitors. They're going to have to rough him up early, if you like. That's kind of the only thing for it. Going to have to do Valentino Rossi at Laguna Seca in 2008 when he qualified. He was almost a second off the pace, and he qualified second behind Casey Stoner, and he roughed him up a bit and won the race. So maybe that's what they're going to do. Got to channel their inner Valentino Rossi to try and keep him at bay.
Well, if we see a load of Audis on 2 wheels for this entire race, you know exactly why. Peter MacKay there telling the future. But looks like everybody's ready to go on the grid, although Niels Manshanden is not taken to the grid, actually. Hopefully he can get in and get sorted. But round 17 is about to get underway. And what a good scrap we're going to have at the front. So, Corentin Guinez and Matthias Dettige on the front row in round 17 of the Z1 Dashboard Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. And we're away. Looks like a good launch from both of those on the front row. Not such a good start for Damien Harris. He seems to have dropped off. Guinez feels the need to go defensive there on Dettige. Fraser Smith's going to try and go up the inside of him. Is that going to work? Cold tyres say otherwise. Nice and tidy again. Oh, it sounds like there might have been a bit of a hit for somebody. Ben Thanes has dropped a couple of positions there. Scotty Angelo's gained 4 places already off his start. He must have had an absolute blinder. Either that or he's jumped it. Fraser Smith and Dettige are side by side into the old hairpin. And as soon as he can do, Fraser gets up to second.
But look at the gap already. I mean, just look how much of a gap Corentin Guinez has pulled out in half a lap. Yeah, about half a lap. Absolutely exceptional. So Fraser Smith, he's really got to try and lay down his best of pace qualifying laps from now on in, really, to try and hang on to Cornton Guinness. I mean, he has just been imperious so far today, on pole position in qualifying, winner in race 1 after a little bit of problems. As you can see him weaving there. Now, why is he doing that? He's trying to generate a little bit more tyre temperature, because these cars on cold tyres, they do understeer at the best of times, but when the tyres are cold, oh god, they can be a bit of a pig, actually.
Yeah, they either understeer way too much, or with no temperature in the rears, they oversteer like mad. So you need to sort of make your mind up sometimes what you're going to put up with and what you're not. Gregory Ranks is trying to battle his way back through. Of course, he was 21st in qualifying. He's now up into 12th place overall. He wants a good spot on the grid for that final race. Don't forget, everybody, top 10 gets reversed. Now, Cornton Guinness has got Fraser all over the back of him here. Wonder how many headlights Fraser's going to come out of this with afterwards. I joke, Fraser. But he's actually got a really good run out the old hairpin. Can't do anything with it there, though, because Cornton blocks it off. He's just putting his car in the right place. We're going to see the flashing now, surely. No. But Cornton, you know, he came over gradually there. He just sort of made the gap disappear. There wasn't an overlap. But Matthias is in the waiting room here, just behind the pair of them. And to be fair, it's not like he's alone in that surgery. Damien Owen Harris is right with him as well, isn't he? Look at this. He's got a brilliant view of this top 3 fight.
He does. He's in the popcorn position, sitting on the sofa, watching it all unfold in front as we see Fraser Smith have a big lunge, and he's going for it. Oh, be careful. Oh. I think there might have been a bit of contact there. I'm not entirely sure, but whoa.
Hello.
Gee, what is Naveed Hussain going? He's weaving about all over the shop. Wow. Fraser Smith sets the fastest lap of the race on the first flyer as Matthias de Teese lunges up the inside of Damien Owen Harris, but Fraser Smith is not letting it go. He goes onto the grass. Can you pass on the grass down Craners? Not advisable, but he's going to try and hang it around the outside and go for the big lunge into the old hairpin. Guinness sees it coming and blocks it off, but this is, tell you what, now, is he going to try the same again at McLean's here? This is the John Cleland move. John Cleland's signature move. Hang on the shoulder of the car and then send it up the inside at the right-hander. And back in 1998, it was only Scots that won here at Donington Park. 2 for John Cleland, 1 for Anthony Reid, and 1 for the late, great David Leslie. So maybe channeling a bit of the inner Scot in him if he's got any in there. Yeah,
we've got literally Leroy Ello against not quite John Cleland at the moment. But look at this. Cornton, he's not really squeezing or anything aggressive, but he's just sort of putting the car where it needs to be. It's like he's playing right on the edge here of being a little bit naughty and just defending. Now he's backed up Fraser into de Teese, and that's the problem with that final chicane. De Teese does the fastest lap of the race. He tries to go around the outside at Redgate. That's not going to work either. Very difficult corner to get right, Redgate. Really late apex. Got to just sort of hope the car bites and then get on the power as soon as you can. Another massive train of cars behind these guys once again. But it's given Cornton that little gap to open up at the front. Now Fraser, you can see, now he's defended from de Teese for a corner or so. He's opened up the gap again. He's like, right, full send mode back on. You know, let's crack on again. See what we can do going forward. But it's going to be a big ask.
Sorry, Chad, I think he's got the edge in the just going through Craners, and also particularly in the old hairpin. We've seen him make a couple of moves there, and yeah, it seems like Fraser's just got the edge in that part, and then through the chicane in turn 1, maybe Cornton's got a little bit of an edge. It's just little bits and pieces here and there. It's very, very tight so far, but Fraser's certainly close enough to make Cornton think about this. But as we've seen, I mean, Cornton is not driven off into the distance every race. In fact, far from it. He's often had 3 or 4 cars in his immediate vicinity all race long, all season long, in fact. So he's used to it, and I don't think we've seen him blink once.
We haven't. Not one bit. Oh, that was close. That was Miguel Freitas on Damien Owen Harris. I heard the sharp intake of breath there from Peter. But this is getting spicy, as people in chat saying. Ollie Slade and Porsche Sport as well with chili pepper. Love it. But there's just more and more battling going on every single time we look at the road. Even further back as well, you know, we've got this going on. This is Ross Nicholson just behind Jean-Louis Deschamps. Mats Borg Anderson is off the road. Not quite sure. Oh, hello. Not quite sure how he's managed to get out all the way over there. Let's have a little look. Did he have any help? He's going to lose it on the grass on the outside. Yep, we've all been there, mate. Nice save, though. Nice save.
Very nice. Yeah, especially a front-wheel drive car to gather that one up and rejoined, and whoa, just going side by side here. Norbert Leitner and Keanu Bourguignon down towards the chicane at Goddard. And Norbert Leitner thinks better of it, just decides to tuck in, and you can kind of do that. Oh, see, look at that! But he gets a brilliant run through the chicane there. But there's a beautifully painted spec map all over the place, Flemish Simsport Audi in the way, where he actually had to check up there, did Norbert Leitner?
Yeah, he had to be very, very careful, didn't he? For just a moment. And that's the thing, when you're following the car in front, you always have to be ready for them to slam on the brakes. You know, you can't force the issue too much. This is Ben Thanes coming back through the order. Bram Van Putten has gained 9 places, but he's just gone a little bit wide out of turn 1. It looks like he's had a bit of argy-bargy here and there. Damage to the front left wheel. So it looks like at the moment. Bart Daleman putting in the chat as well. The championship situation. Guinness will pretty much be champion if the race finishes as it is. He will have 779 points over 681 from Damien Owen Harris, who is 4th at the moment. So that gap will open up even further. Fraser Smith still trying to chase him down, though. He's just over 0.6 of a second back. And I'll tell you one thing, Norbert Leitner is not 0.6 of a second off the back of Keanu Bourguignon. Go on to the nose camera here. You can see the cars bouncing over the curbs. Wonderful looking car is that Flemish Simsports machine. Down the straight, just having a little look to the inside. Fraser Smith, fastest lap of the race, fastest by Naveen Hussain. Look how close they get just before the braking zone, a little bit early. Oh, he's trying to open a gap. Hello. Hello, inside of rear wheel. Still, Norbert Leitner can't get through. Good pace from Bourguignon so far, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from the Belgian. Keanu Reeves Beef Bourguignon, as we call him. I don't mind a wee Beef Bourguignon, actually. It's quite nice.
Yeah, agreed. But does he mind having Norbert Leitner, the Hungarian, all over the back of him in this race? I'd say he does. Norbert's very persistent here at the moment. And look at this, just little dives of defence here and there. Matthew Crisp, not too far off the back of that. He's not really had a very stellar evening so far. He's been in and about the top 10. 12th in race 1. Up again is Jessica Myers getting involved in the thick of it. Oh, comes over on Ben Thanes. Not really sure on the need to go all that way over, as Ben Thanes obviously unhappy with that. Not quite sure what Jessica's agenda was there. But pulls over all the way to the right hand side. Now this is still going on. Mats Borg Anderson's gone in the pits, by the way. Not quite sure why. Having a bit of a blink in and out there for the overlay. So apologies everybody if the images do drop a little bit in quality, but it seems okay at this end. I think we've just got overlay being a wonder. But to be honest, Peter, I mean, these two are glued together and the gap at the front has come down as well. So HM Engineering cars not having the best of times at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Fraser Smith now right back on the back of Corentin Guinness. It might have been that Fraser Smith, well, there was a theory that Fraser Smith might have really taken the life out of his tyres early, those sort of crucial qualifying laps, but it appears to be right there on pace anyway, and he's certainly close enough to, it would have been a bit of a lunge there to have a look at the hairpin at the chicane. I keep saying that, it is a hairpin if you go and do the Grand Prix loop.
Yeah, very true.
But Corentin Guinness is now, certainly feeling the pressure now from Fraser Smith, who matches his lap time. In fact, they're actually slightly slower than Matthias Titij and Damien Harris behind, and even Miguel Freitas in 5th.
Yeah, 111.9s and 111.8s coming from the other guys. So, not too far off, but still, yeah, like you say, guys behind putting on a bit of a chase now, to be honest. Oh, hello. Miguel Freitas exploring the limits there. And as Bart Daleman has pointed out, the consistency class is so close in terms of the points. It's 6 points between Anton Dupin and Paul King. And Paul King is actually just ahead of him on track now as well. 7 tenths between them on the road. 6 tenths between them in terms of points. There's definitely not 6 tenths between these pair. That's Ross Nicholson and a very second-hand looking Audi RS3 LMS TCR. Michael Blake just ahead of him. Michael was high up in the consistency class during qualifying, but it's not stayed that way, unfortunately, during the race. And I'm afraid that Ross is going to have to do a bit more work than that to try and get through. But look at this top 5 again. Now Guinea's fastest, like a 1:11.6. Hello, where did that come from? This is what I mean
Probably
about
the sight of Fraser Smith in the mirror, I think.
Yeah.
But look how it's pulled the whole group along. Interestingly, it's everyone, because they're all picking up little slithers of draft advantage from one another. They all sort of pull each other along in a train. If you could coordinate, they're kind of like the red arrows, except only one of them's red.
Very true. Very true indeed. It's like a mix of different aerobatic teams. But would this be the Halfords team? Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. Matthias de Tige, currently probably worrying about Damien Harris, but de Tige is having a fantastic evening so far. He's having a real sort of nice night in the spotlight. To be fair, second place in race 1. He's hoping for a top 3 in race 2. But Damien Owen Harris wants to take that away. Miguel Freitas would be happy to do the same as well. Just under 8 minutes to go in this race then. Still plenty of time for anything to happen at the front here. Bram Class side by side with Jessica Myers. Later on the brakes, they both turn in. Jessica hits the curb.
Oh, big send, yes. Oh, I love it.
I think the bounce on the curb nearly caught Bram unawares there, but he did a good job in getting the car slowed down. Now look at this. This is Anton Dupin and Paul King. If Anton Dupin gets ahead, he will extend his championship lead in the consistency class by just a little bit. This is the battle we wanted to see. Amazing stuff from the pair of them, and look at that from Anton Dupin. Good stuff from Paul King to just concede that and think, right, let's just go forward together. But Anton Dupin, he's thinking, nah, I'm going forward without you, mate. Stuff you. See you in a bit. Look at that. Great stuff out of the old hairpin.
Yeah, he duped him into a false sense of security there.
Oh, well, Bram Van Putten is not letting anybody else sort of have a false sense of security at the moment. He's pushed forward. He's done well. He's gained 15 places, and in a field of this quality, that's really, really good. But it's just not enough at the minute, I'm afraid. All over the back.
It never gets any less fierce further back, does it? It's just look at this. You see Bram Van Putten kind of out of sequence here. Really, we're not really used to seeing him down here. As Matthias de Tige puts in his best lap, about 2/10 quicker than Fraser Smith in second. But Corentin Guina is now really starting to ask big questions of the pack behind. He's able to do that 1:11 mid very, very easily, whereas the rest are kind of hanging on with their fingertips a bit. And this is just with how many times have we seen this, Chaz, where he's just gone, oh, right, okay, and then just hits the afterburners and really starts to stretch the advantage. It's been mighty, mighty impressive to watch, I have to say.
It has, yeah, and we had comments in chat earlier saying that, you know, Fraser probably just used up his tyres trying to prove to Corentin that he could go after him and he could put the pace in, but Corentin just seems to just store it somewhere, doesn't he? And like you say, afterburners is a wonderful word to use for it, because it is literally like he just grabs an extra bit of power out of nowhere and flies off. Now, Jason Rowe has really defended hard there against Bram Van Putten, and now Bram might be on the back foot with Jason Rowe's teammate Michael Blake. We've then got Ross Nicholson just behind them. And Jason's still defending this very, very well, to be honest, as well, in 17th place. He's got his teammate, or his stablemate, Mark Woodhouse, just in front. He's 3.5 seconds up the road. It's close between Leitner and Borgignon. Leitner down the inside. Oh, looked like a bit of a hit. Oh, that's not nice. Not what you want. And now look, he's under pressure from Wood.
Well, that was a banging gone, wasn't it? Not a Bourguignon. That was Norbert Leitner just giving a wee shove there, and oh, gee whiz, that's allowed Chris Wood to get by as well in the Jamaica We Have a Touring Car team paint scheme. Some say people can't believe. That would be quite cool, a Jamaican touring car team, actually. Some cool motor racing in Jamaica. They have like quite a lot of like time attack and stuff like that on some truly terrifying racetracks.
I can imagine. I can certainly imagine. I know a couple of different countries I've seen sort of hill climb videos from and thought, Are you all right? Like, who signed this off as health and safety? Oh, a bit of a touch. Chris Wood sideways. He's going to get a slowdown for that no matter what happens. Oh, and out of the way. Keanu Borgignon tries to get out of the way to make sure that he doesn't gain an advantage from it on Chris Wood. And gets smacked in the rear by Matthew Crisp. Gregory Franks gains from that the most. He goes through the middle like, all right then, fine boys. If you're just going to do that, then sin a bit, as we say up here in the north. But coming back to Guinez, he's not really put a foot wrong at the moment. Another 11.7 on that last lap, and 11.8. Sorry, 11.9 on the last lap. 112.1 for Fraser Smith. So, as you said, it's just a tenth at a time, here and there, just gradually opening up that gap, isn't it? That's all that matters here. And as long as you can get them tenths out of your pocket and just show your competitors what you can do, you're going to be hard to beat, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd love to know what that feels like to be able to have the luxury of keeping something in reserve, because I'll be honest, I'm always absolutely up over my head straight away. It just shows you what makes the top guys really. It's not having to really stretch it until when it's needed. And we mustn't say though that this is anything straightforward for Corrington. He's really had to be super quick as he drops back into the 1:12's identical lap time to Fraser Smith there, almost to the 1,000th. As we see, look at this, Damien Owen Harris now sending it all the way around the outside, going the long way at Craners, but well held.
No.
Not well held. Biff. It's that now. That is Nigel Mansell's crashed into that wall. But believe it or not, Damien, yeah, you'll be bit of digital aero wake there again.
Yeah. In all fairness, though, I think the digital aero wake happened because Damien just. I don't think he expected the overlap to still be there. He didn't leave enough room on the inside for Matthias de Tige to make it through there. It's difficult to go round the Craners side by side, but you have to leave more room than that, unfortunately. So Matthias de Tige now back up there, and Freitas has employed the Fraser Smith strategy there of flashing his lights.
He's that's not like the Portuguese ace here, Miguel Freitas, and he's trying to hang on to the back of Matthias de Tige, who's had a great day at the office here in. Now, is this is Derbyshire, isn't it? Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, Derbyshire, home of the
Donington Park.
No. Ron Haslam Superbike School.
I did not know that.
So if you want to learn how to crash a motorbike on the circuit even faster than you did before, actually, I joke. That's actually I actually should get down and have a go at it, because then I can get back out on the track on the motorbike at Knockhill.
I thought you wanted to. If you want to find out how to crash a motorbike faster than you could before, ask Simon Cowell. But Matthias de Tige is currently holding on to this ahead of Miguel Freitas, and he's got 1.5 seconds ahead to Fraser Smith. So we don't see that coming down in the final lap. So he now just needs to focus on the car behind him, as Corentin Guinez is... Actually, we're going to get 2 more laps out of this, you know, because we're just over... Oh, no, sorry, 1 more lap it'll be. I do apologise. That's my awful maths. As now Chris Wood trying it on Damien Owen Harris. Damien says, no, thank you. Try again next time. And then there's more of a train developing behind those guys. But Freitas got a run on de Tige there. And now he tries to get a cutback. Oh.
This is really feisty stuff here from Miguel Freitas. Oh, using a little bit of almost rally-style cuts going through Craners over the grass, and a little bit wide there from Miguel Freitas, and that's just knocked his momentum off. But tell you what, you've got to give Fraser Smith a ton of credit. For he's been right in the shadow of Corentin Guinez all race long. Even when Corentin really start to put in those fast laps, he's not let him get away at all. He is there to capitalise if a mistake were ever to come.
Yeah, he has been indeed. It's been a wonderful drive from him, to be honest. And another fantastic one from Corentin Guinez, perfectly executed, tidy as it is. Nice bit of fighting between the two of them. But even Fraser Smith's performance can't stop him. And I believe your new champion, Corentin Guinez, Round 17 of the championship goes to the Frenchman. Fraser Smith second, Matthias de Tige third, Freitas fourth, and fifth for Naveed Hussein. But Corentin Guinez, as Naveed's done it again. Corentin Guinez will, with that, surely wrap up the Z1 dashboard Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. Awesome stuff. Handbrakes and burnouts from Fraser Smith. Paul King beat Anton Dupin at the end of that one, with just over a tenth of a second between the two of them. He managed to get it back. We'll have to have a look back at it. Ryan Walker wins the Academy class as Paul King goes down the inside. Oh, Anton's just gone way too deep into Coppice. And you know what? That was on the penultimate lap of the race, that one. Wow. Well done to Paul King. But yeah, Ryan Walker, as he just disappears, wins the Academy class. But it's safe to say, I mean, how many times have we seen him take wins in race 1 and 2, Peter? He did it at the very first race meeting, and even since then, it's just brilliant stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely, and even when he doesn't win, he's never off the podium, and it's so easy to say, so hard to do. And Corentin Guinez is only joined the HM engineering squad in September, and I'm sure they'll be very, very happy with their new acquisition, and he is a thoroughly deserving champion. And tell you what, the rest of the field will be hoping he doesn't come to join in next season in 2021, but I sure as heck hope that he does, because it's just been an absolute masterclass in touring car racing from the French.
It has indeed. Now here is your result from race 1 then. Corentin Guinez won that one as well, with Matthias de Tige and Fraser Smith just behind. Damien Harris finishing 4th, with Keanu Bourguignon 5th, ahead of Miguel Freitas, Naveed Hussein, Norbert Leitner, Chris Wood and Mats Borg Anderson. Paul King took a win in the consistency class ahead of Matthew Crisp and Gregory Franks. Jess Myers was 2nd in that class, 14th overall. Jean-Louis Deschamps got a podium. Anton Dupin was 16th, ahead of Michael Blake and Bram Class. We then have Jason Rowe and Ross Nicholson, with Ben Thayen and Ashley Guffall just outside the top 20. Mark Woodhouse recovered to 23rd. Niles de Kuiper won the Academy class ahead of Ryan Walker and Jason Guerrara, and it was Rob Jackson and Craig Schill in 28th. Then we had Joachim Gulbranson, Scotty Angelo, and Daniele Giudici was the highest placed of those that were a lap down. He was joined a lap down by Neil Stevenson. Scott Malcolm was 2 laps down. Bram Van Putten 4 laps down, with Niels Manshanden 35th and Bart Daleman in 36th. And Peter, if you'd be so kind, mate, we have also the second race results to go through.
With pleasure, my friend, while you have a sip of some bubble bath, i.e. fruit cider. Corentin Guinez again, the winner by less than a second from Fraser Smith, with Matthias de Tige in 3rd. Miguel Freitas was 4th, with Naveed Hussein in the Bondmobile in 5th. Norbert Leitner, the Hungarian, finished 6th, followed by Damien Harris, Chris Wood, Keanu Bourguignon and Matthew Crisp for Fiercely Forward. Gregory Franks was 11th, followed by Paul King, who came 1st in the consistency class, with Anton Dupin right behind, Jessica Myers in 14th, and Bram Clays in 15th. Mark Woodhouse was 16th, followed by Bram Van Putten, Michael Blake, and in 19th, Jason Rowe, Ross Nicholson, Scotty Angelo, Mats Borg Anderson, Ryan Walker, your winner in the Academy class, and finally Jean-Louis Deschamps, Joachim Gulbranson, Daniele Giudici, Scott Malcolm, Ashley Guffall, and finally Neil Stevenson, Jason Guerrara, Craig Schill, Niels de Kuiper, Rob Jackson, Ben Daines, Niels Manshanden, and you nearly got me there, Bart. You're sitting in the pit lane in the safety car.
He is indeed. Now, it's this point of the evening, everybody, where Peter and I will just take a quick break just for a few minutes, and you can watch some of the cars out on track, although for some reason it loves the fact that it can just pick up whatever it wants and doesn't often show cars. But if you just give Peter and I 5 minutes, we're just going to grab a drink and we'll be right back with you here on Simracersworld TV. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience there. Just watching Gregory Ranks do some wonderful drifting here in the Audi RS3 LMS TCR. We're back for the very final race of the season here in the Z1 dashboard, Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. Chaz Draycott here in the commentary box, and alongside me, Peter MacKay. Peter, one race to go, reverse grid, championships still to be decided, of course, in consistency and elsewhere. This is going to be a real corker, this.
It is, yeah, particularly in consistency. It's very much a showdown between Paul King and Anton Dupin. Now, is this the same Paul King of World Rally Championship commentary fame? Imagine if it was. I don't know. Is he a sim racer? Do you know the Paul King I'm referring to? You'd recognise his voice straight away.
I've not thought about that before, you know. I'd be intrigued to know if it is. Well, we'll have to find out. Yeah, hopefully watches the stream back and lets us know in the chat. Very interesting to know. So please, Paul, let us know if it is you. If not, then we apologise, but you share a name with someone that we would both like to, I'm sure, have a conversation with. But, yes, him and Anton, basically, for anybody that isn't seeing the YouTube chat at the same time as this, whoever finishes ahead out of Paul King and Anton Dupin is consistency class champion. Now, those are the sort of black and white results that I can get on board with. Am I right?
Absolutely. There's no need for... well, it does... It's a shame that there isn't more complicated permutations, but also we aren't at Suzuka, because then we could use our Casio calculation pun once again. We could win that. We could dine that one out again. But yeah, it's absolutely. I love that as well. No mucking about. It's just a straight fight to the flag. It's going to be great.
It really is. So we've got the grid for the final race of the night. Then Matthew Crisp on pole from Keanu Bourguignon, with Chris Wood and Damien Harris alongside each other on row 2. Then Norbert Leitner and David Hussein, with Miguel Freitas 7th, Matthias de Tige 8th, Fraser Smith and Corentin Guinez make it a very interesting row 5. We'll then just filter through the rest, because these guys get on the grid very, very quickly for this final race of the night. But Peter, any picks from you, mate, to take this one?
It's put me on the spot here. Damien Harris.
Damien Owen Harris, 4th on the grid for Fiercely Forward. And I'm sure he will be going fiercely forward. And apparently that was such an Alan Partridge saying, was Porsche Sport saying in the chat there. Was that maybe the am I right, or the black and white calculations or something like that? I'm not sure, Porsche Sport, but thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate it.
I don't know if you could be Alan Partridge, because he's a bloke who drinks beer, as he says a lot.
We're on that, are we? Right, what a way to round out the season. Then the final round of the Z1 dashboard, Simracersworld TCR Winter Series is away. Gorgeous start by Matthew Crisp by the look of it. Keanu Bourguignon has gone with him. Whoa, feisty stuff. Damien Harris, honestly. Everyone be careful, everybody. Right, I'm going to biff you. Love it. Right, Damien Harris then, trying to disassemble Damien Harris. Norbert Leitner's car for him. You could say he's Hungary for positions as they go down the hill, down the Craners. Wonderful bit of circuit, but such a terrifying prospect no matter what you're in. Front-wheel drive cars are especially tantalising down there. Looks like everyone's got this. Oh, never mind. It's Bram Class proving me wrong. Off on the grass. I think he would have been the lead. Oh, no, Bram joins right into the middle of the road. Oh, that wasn't very upper class, was it? Oh, Paul King. Paul King's in trouble. No, for the consistency.
Oh,
who has
and that's
kept
Guidici.
Yep, Jason Rowe. Jason Rowe's had a big hit.
Got through.
Niles de Kuiper's hit him as well. Oh, that's it. That's it for Paul King. Oh, man.
I know, though. Oh, yeah, of course, you're right, because Dupin is ahead. If it was the other way around, it would be different, but... Oh,
he's just kept it on the lock to the right. He clips one of the fiercely forward.
Nearly hit Anton.
That Ross Nicholson just smacks into him at full chat there. Now, I'm not a fan of people keeping their foot in during incidents. That was just a bit poor there, in all honesty. Now, I must say as well that Bram, what was this rejoin, mate? I think he gets a bit of a tap there from Jessica Myers. Then there's no space on the apex, and he hits one of the Team Mad cars, but he's just straight back on. The car bounces. It's similar to the touring car Masters rejoin years ago by Jason Plato, who I think he got smacked by Kelvin Burt. That's a massive, massive shunt, boys. Massive shunt. And thankfully it's sim racing and everyone will be all right after that, but very scrappy stuff there from the final race meeting. I can imagine the Discord chat will go mad. Jessica Myers is currently the highest placed driver in consistency class, though, so she's pushing hard here to make sure that she fights against these consistency drivers and, of course, the precision drivers. Anton Dupin, though, he wants that title, and now all he needs to do is get some points out of this race. Look at that from Naveed Hussain. He's been one of the exciting ones to watch this season, hasn't he? He's always been fighting. This is feisty stuff.
Do not expect any room at all from Jess Myers. There is no quarter given there, is there? Just be like, if you want to go through, you're gonna have to move me out the way. I love that. That's proper touring car racing, and puts it right back up the inside. Anton Dupin, Steady Eddie, we call him. He's thinking, oh, that's very impolite, or whatever the Flemish is for that.
Oh. Jessica Myers, yeah, definitely making sure Bram Van Putten knows that she's there. Not giving a quarter at all. Probably thinks, oh, it's one of my teammates. I'll have a bit of fun with him. It's just a yellow and black car. And now the SimRC.de machine all over the back of the Corgi mobile. I know
Don't hit the Corgi.
I know dogs can smell things a lot stronger than we can.
Black flag if you hit the Corgi.
I'm sure it can smell Audi and dealership and finance. But oh, look at that. The APR's going to go up.
Day one.
Down the inside, Jessica Myers again. Was that contact with Naveed Hussain? Don't think so. Oh, I need a drink after this. Right. So Matthias Tatij then, he's right in the thick of it here. Oh, he's in the air. Still a great train of cars.
You hear it banging off the rev limiter there as he just went over the crest of the curb, and you just heard this like that. Oh, dearie me. Oh.
Naveed has a spin. And is it?
Oh, big send here from Taylor. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not Taylor. It's Jess. She takes no prisoners, doesn't she? God.
Yeah, there's taking no prisoners, and then there's unfortunately missing your braking zone and ending somebody's race prematurely there. That was not on, that move, I don't think. Maybe just a misjudgment on the brakes. We've all done it. It can just be a mistake sometimes. Now Matthew Crisp, this isn't a mistake, him being at the front. He's loving it at the moment. Keanu Bourguignon in third position. Currently trying to hold on. Norbert Leitner in the middle of this. Fraser Smith and Matthias Tatij having a fight further down as well. It's all going on.
Yeah, Matthew Crisp will be wanting to walk away at the front. He is the real McCoy.
Oh, right. So.
Oh, here goes Jess again up the inside of Bram Van Putten. She's not letting him get away, that's for sure. She's going to dive on the brakes. Full send again. Oh, there's going to be contact. Oh, just about make it through, okay.
Chris Wood does the fastest
This is a proper punch up here.
Look at, I think I think that's a bit of that's a bit of a protest from Bram Van Putten saying you're all over the place. I've seen that before. Anton Dupin gets contact there from Jessica Myers. Ben Thayens now goes through. Anton Dupin needs to finish higher than 24th place. That's the news in from Bart Daleman. He needs to finish higher than 24th and he is champion based on the drop scores. So, he's still got some work to do here. His championship rival may be out of the race, but he certainly has got some work to do. It was a bit naughty the start of the race. So, I'm sure that'll get looked at again. But now, Anton, there's more contact. Jessica Myers and Ben Thayens. Looked like Jess didn't leave the room on the inside there. Because let's face it, when Ben's on the apex and there's a contact noise. Don't know if Ben went down the inside late though, you never know. It's close at the front. Look at this, Norbert Leitner has taken the lead off Matthew Crisp. Damien Owen Harris, Chris Wood and Keanu Bourguignon are having a bit of a dance behind as well. So two fiercely forward cars in the top three. Then you've got Corentin Guinez, Miguel Freitas and Fraser Smith. Oh, Matthew Crisp. Late move down the inside there. Keanu Bourguignon side by side with Chris Wood. All of it still kicking off. And Donington Park, what a place to do it as well. Oh.
Craner curves. How good is Craner curves?
Keanu was so brave then, honestly. I don't know what pill he'd taken for that, but that was such a feisty little cut across the nose of Chris Wood. Chris could be thankful he's still got the Audi badge. Oh, Bram Van Putten's off the road as well. He's back on. Look at that behind as well. I think it's Anton Dupin with Michael Blake, Jason Rowe, Ashley Gaffal, Scott Malcolm, And Jean-Louis Deschamps just behind. Gregory Vranks has disappeared. Has Gregory disconnected? No. Oh, no, he's reappeared. Or has he? No, he's blinking in and out. So Gregory Vranks having some sort of trouble with his connection there.
He'll not be ranking his internet provider, that's for sure.
Right. Oh, more curb.
These big hops, these bumps.
They'll literally screw my face up when I watch them go over the curb.
Oh. You're just thinking, I mean, at Labour at £130 an hour at your local Audi dealer, you just can't afford to have those sort of incidents.
Oh God, you really can't. Ashley Gaffall is going to be paying at least 260 quid for whatever he's just done across the gravel. Norbert Leitner, though, he's showing that it's not just a fluke that, Corentin Guin has got into HM Engineering. He's showing that it takes a real quick driver. Jack Taylor in the chat, good to see you, mate. He says it's absolutely brutal racing, and that is the word for it. It is brutal racing in this championship. I feel sorry for Bart and his stewards. But hats off to Bart, by the way, for organising this. He's done a wonderful job this season in such a short championship as well to get things done. It's great, really is.
Absolutely. Doesn't take any nonsense either. If you don't agree with one of his stewarding decisions, though, he'll just tell you to eat his shorts.
You started with SH. I wonder what you were going to say there. Right, so Keanu Bourguignon, he's going to be telling Damien Owen Harris to eat something in a minute if he doesn't get out of the way. Into the chicane then. The car just needs to be guided into there so carefully. You can see the steering input. It's all over the place on the way in. Down the straight we go. Love the onboard sound of these cars. It's such a growly thing. Brilliant. Fraser Smith, 1:11.9, fastest lap of the race in 8th position. There he is. Just going around Redgate. Miguel Freitas in front. Matthias de Tige behind. One headlight, as always, with Fraser. Wouldn't be any different. We wouldn't have him any other way.
Needs to change those bulbs quite regularly for obvious reasons.
Yeah. I hope that's not labour at £130 an hour.
It will be. I kid you not. Here's a little interlude for you, Chaz, while we watch this absolutely mental battle here between the Team Mad cars of Chris Wood, Miguel Freitas, Fraser Smith getting himself properly involved there as well. Matthias de Tige, and Fraser showing no mercy once again. Wow. Yes, I kid you not. I remember I had an Audi TT 3.2 when I was a young whippersnapper, and like the look of myself in the mirror and the sound of my voice, that kind of stuff. And
I was going to say, what hairdresser did you work at?
Yeah, original content, Chaz. There was it was failing its MOT on a faulty exhaust clamp. And it's gonna be 100 no, let me try again. It's going to be 160 quid. I'm like, pardon?
What?
And they're like, yep, 45 for the part and 120 for the labour. I said, well, I won't tell you what I said. It's not fit for broadcast. I said, thank you for your advice. I shall get back to you. I'll call you. And my local garage just burst out laughing. He says that'll take me 2 minutes at lunch, and the part is £1.50.
Well, sorry, Audi, but at the end of the day, that's just how it goes sometimes, isn't it? With them, it's just a bit bonkers, just a little bit bonkers. That's why it scares me owning a BMW. But anyway, they all sit right behind you.
People might think of you.
Yeah, that's very true. They sit right behind you like Keanu Bourguignon's doing right now. That's what they do on the motorway, and then they go into the middle lane, stick their fingers up at you, and then have to slow down because there's a car going slower than you, and then look at you like you're the idiot. Right then. Can you tell that happened to me the other day? Corentin Guinez right behind these guys. Oh, they're going to thank us when this championship's over. Corentin Guinez with the front row seat here for Keanu Bourguignon against Damien Harris. Damien leaves about a millimetre more than an Audi RS3's width there, but look at that, down the inside, Corentin Guinez waiting for the opportunity, and squeezes through the craners. If he gets this done, it'll be a very, very good treat for us all. Look at that, Merry Christmas, Corentin Guinez. Still great racing from Keanu Bourguignon, nice and respectful, gave him the space. This is Jessica Myers now with Anton Dupin just behind. Anton in the box seat to win the championship in consistency. Porsche Sport clearly not approving of me owning a BMW. I do apologise. Let's look at this now. Anton, he wants to take a consistency class win to go with it. Jess says not on your life. Moves over a little bit to the right. Anton. Oh, it needs room there, Jess. That's the second time we've seen that now. I need to buy some mirrors for Christmas.
This is it. This is really not... Anton Dupin can't really afford to get involved in this sort of caper, really. I'm sure he'll know what position he needs to finish in to get that championship. And, yeah, it would have been quite... It would have been all right to follow Jess home there, but... yeah, I don't know what's got into her this particular race, but it's gone from full send to, well, yeah, to proper aggression, proper Sutton style, lovely.
Wow. So Damien Harris then somehow holding on in third. I think Corentin Guinez had a bit of an attack there on the previous lap, or the previous corner, and it's sort of pushed him back a little bit now into the hands of Kiani Bourguignon. And these three are still stuck right together. Just in front is Matthew Crisp, who seems to have had a bit of a slow sector there. He's dropped back a little bit from Norbert Leitner. 1.3 seconds up the road now, Norbert Leitner. Here's Ashley Gaffal, trying not to fall over Daniele Giudici. Runs off the circuit a little bit there. He's got Niles de Kuiper just behind him, who is in the academy class. Actually, he's got his teammate, or sorry, his classmate, you could say, Jason Rowe, just 2 cars ahead, so he wants to go chasing after him. We've got close cars all over the place. Can I just say, Ben Thayens, 22 positions gained in this race for Ben Thayens. That's a fantastic, fantastic drive.
That is absolutely superb. Really, really good stuff from Ben Thayens, and I have to say I like it. He's got a good choice of number there, has Ben Thayens, because if he ends up on his roof, we'll still know which number it is.
That's very true. I want to point out Rob Jackson as well, who's not had as much airtime as he probably would have liked this season, but he's leading the academy class at the moment from Daniele Giudici, who's a couple of cars back, but he's gained 15 places to get there. So what a great drive he's having. Anton Dupin has just got past Jessica Myers after having another battle on that previous lap. And just behind is Michael Blake, who wants a better time of this final round. As up the hill they go, trying to keep it nice and tidy. Anton might be worried at this point, you know. He's had a bit of a tough race, and he needs to hold on to this, and he knows that Jessica's been rather aggressive so far, so it'll be a focusing time for him. The light is dying very much here at Donington Park. And something that's not dying is Fraser Smith's commitment through the chicane. More contact with the curbs there. Chris Wood gets a good run out the final corner. Looks like quite a tasty run indeed, but he's going to be on the outside, which is then going to be the inside down the Craners, and then the outside again. We've had an issue for Neil Stevenson and Craig Schill. We'll just have a quick look at what's happened here. Oh, he's down the inside. The shared box car did not give him... Oh, I don't know what was he doing there. He seemed to go over to the right. It's like the wheel's gone. Oh, Craig. Oh, Craig, mate. Oh, I'm so sorry, Craig, that we had to see that. It's like the wheel's gone, though. Look, he's turning to the right, though, to get back on, but he's just over to the right, and then the Ignium car just goes straight into the back of him. Now, unfortunately for Craig Schill, he thought he was going to the left. Then, I'm sorry, Craig, we have to laugh a little bit, but Fraser Smith has had an issue and lost a couple of places as well. Let's see what's gone on here. Oh, down the Craners. Is he going to leave room? Ah, that aero wash. Oh, that second hit. That's kind of what finished it off there, isn't it, Peter? That was a big, big hit in the front left.
Yeah, and sometimes these cars, if you just catch them in the wrong place, it can really cause a lot of damage. But that's taken Fraser Smith out of the battle for in that front pack there. Damien Owen Harris now. Whoa, just got one last go to have a little bit of rubbing there. Oof. Gee. Oh, was that? No, surely not. I thought the unflappable Corentin Guinez was on the flasher there, but but no, I don't think so. I think it maybe just the way the daytime running lights look like, or DRLs as they refer to them in the Audi options list, I would imagine.
Yeah, I remember when cars first had DRLs, and a lot of the friends of mine were putting them in their Vauxhall courses, and oh mate, look at my DRLs. It's like, yeah, you just shut up. But yeah, long gone are the days where DRLs are a fancy thing, I think. But still, this is all helping Norbert Leitner run away at the front here, because Damien Owen Harris has got his teammate Matthew Crisp just ahead, only half a second ahead, but he just doesn't seem to be able to make an impression at the moment. Norbert is now 2.2 seconds out in front. You can just see him off in the distance. It's very much been HM Engineering and Fiercely Forward this season that have done an amazing job. Flemish Sim Sports also right up there. Team Mad, another prime example. And the Simracersworld Esports guys, you know, we're not biased on this channel at all, but they have done a strong job. I mean, Matthias Tatij and Gregory Vranks in the previous season of this championship were just glued together constantly. Awesome to watch. It was just, they were literally like an aerobatic display team, but in Audis. And they've done similar performances this season, but they've had a bit more to fight with. And I think the quality of, I mean, if you look at the top 20 in this field, the top quality racing we've had is just irreplaceable, isn't it?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And particularly at the very front, the respect between Damien Harris, Corentin Guinez, Bram van Putten has been superb. And often there's been a cast of other drivers who have made their way up into the front pack, depending on the circuit, or sometimes in the reverse grid races as well, like we see in the British Touring Car Championship. And yeah, there's been a lot of drivers who have been able to join in as well. It's been super to watch. And as we say, we're just coming into the last couple of minutes now, but Damien Harris here looks like he's in a good spot to actually get one over on Corentin Guinez. And I tell you what, going into the off season, although it'll be quite a brief off season, with a win over your big rival, as he uses his teammate for a pick here, very clever.
Oh my God.
It does make a big difference. To go into that with it's not a win, but to go away with overcoming a rival into the off season is really important. But Corentin Guinez is about to break his heart. Yep, there it goes. Oh, that hurts. What are you got to do?
I know. That's literally it. He'll be screaming at his rearview mirror after that. Will Damien Harris. Now Keanu Bourguignon's going to be screaming at Matthew Crisp to get out of the way. Oh, it's just, like you say, mate, what have you got to do to try and shake Corentin Guinez this season? It's been phenomenal, really has. There's still a car there, Matthew. He sees him, gives him the room. Down the back straight once again. This will now be the penultimate lap of the race for Norbert Leitner, your race leader. And he's been lighting it up with them wheels, I can tell you that for free. But it's been a nice drive from Norbert, hasn't it?
Very, very good indeed. Yeah, very impressive. It's almost like this performance has been coming all season, actually, hasn't it? He's just unknown. He's always had the pace, but he's just been able to put it together. But it's all fallen together, and he's shown just how quick he really is. 1 minute 12.4 there. So he's right on the pace as we see Bram van Putten having a wee lunge up the inside there at Redgate. But yeah, it's been and actually, do you remember who tipped him for a good round, Chaz?
I do, and that would have been you. That would have been you, mate. But someone who's also having a pretty decent race, Bram van Putten's gained 11 places. Ben Thanes has gained 24. I don't know how, because it's just amazing. Now we've got Miguel Freitas having to defend from Matthias Tatij, who's now gone down the inside. The door's been opened, and through he goes. Now he's got his teammate Mark Woodhouse behind, but we need to look further up the road, because this man, the Hungarian Norbert Leitner, is going to take the final round of the season, meaning it's going to be a HM Engineering clean sweep of race wins tonight. What a drive. Put your hands together, everybody, for Norbert Leitner. Beautiful performance. Damien Harris is going to take second, and your champion, Corentin Guinez, finishes on the podium in the last race of the season. Matthew Crisp finishes fourth. Keanu Bourguignon fifth. Good drive for him. Bram van Putten, great performance, really, to highlight how quick he is this season. 11 places gained. Ben Thayens, 24 positions gained. And your consistency class champion, everybody, winning the class in that race, Anton Dupin. Take a bow, son. And Rob Jackson, what a drive this is for him as well. 13 places gained, wins the Academy class in this final race, and I believe the man behind him, Daniele Giudici, is your champion in Academy. He really does deserve that. The Sim Stickers driver doing a wonderful job. But Norbert Leitner taking the final spoils here, Peter, and a beautiful way to end his season, although in a wall.
Yeah, we'll ignore that one. Yeah, Norbert's a hard racer, really, really good in this particular type of car, and thoroughly deserved that win. He was imperious there in race 3. And it's funny, isn't it, with that the third race, you just get some drivers who get the opportunity to show what they can do. Sometimes can't move forward in the pack like they'd like to, but when they get that clean air, you really see their pace. And Norbert showed it was all there. And oh, look at that big, that is a fantastic smoky burnout. Brilliant stuff there. He's still going. Oh,
Love
top
that.
marks.
Love that to bits. Great stuff from Norbert Leitner. Good showmanship. Good showmanship indeed. So we may as well bring you up the confirmed results from round 18, the final round of the Z1 dashboard, Simracersworld TCR Winter Series. We have Norbert Leitner then taking a wonderful win. There's no other way of saying it. And then the alternation between firstly forward begins with Damien Harris second, Corentin Guinness third, and Matthew Crispin fourth. Keanu Bourguignon held on well in fifth. Bram van Putten put in a great drive to sixth. Matthias de Tige was seventh, ahead of Miguel Freitas and his teammate Mark Woodhouse eighth and ninth. Ben Thayens, what a drive, 24 places gained to finish 10th, ahead of Chris Wood in 11th. Anton Dupin is your consistency class champion, with Jessica Myers second, Michael Blake in third in that class, with Scott Malcolm and Jean-Louis Deschamps just behind. Then we have Fraser Smith 17th after that little off. Jason Rowe is 18th with Ashley Gaffall just ahead of Rob Jackson, who wins Academy in that race. That was fantastic. And then you had Daniele Giudici, who I believe is your Academy champion. I'm sorry if not, Daniele, but I believe based on the points that should be the one. Brian Walker in 22nd ahead of Jason Guerrara, Joachim Gulbranson 24th, then Niles de Kuiper just ahead of Ross Nicholson, who got caught up in that incident. So too did Craig Schill, but hats off to Craig for his services to entertainment, because if that was not heartbreaking for Craig, it was hilarious above everything else. Naveed Hussain 6 laps down, so too Neil Stevenson and Scotty Angelo 8 laps down. Gregory Frank suffered his first disconnect of the year just near the midpoint of December, and it was in the last race of the season. Absolutely gutted for Gregory Franks. Mats Borg Anderson was 16 laps down, and we lost Paul King, Bram Class, Niels Mansanden in that first lap incident. And Bart Daleman nearly had me off there as well, but no, Bart sitting in the safety car, and I think he was too busy watching something else, probably watching the broadcast to figure out, oh yeah, maybe I should go out and track in the safety car. But, Peter, it's been a joy this season, hasn't it, mate? And that race was all of the action we could have wanted.
Oh, it certainly was, wasn't it? It was all going on, and yeah, Jess Myers not here to make friends in the mid pack there, squaring up to anyone and anyone who would be up for it, and yeah, gave us some proper touring car tussles there. So yeah, fantastic all round, and good to see Norbert Leitner get that win at the end as well. But really, this season it's been all about Corentin Guinness, who has just been the star of the show.
He really has. And I think, to be honest, it'd be good to get him in for an interview. We'll just wait in a moment just to see if any of the drivers do want to pop in for a quick word. The Mew saying, great commentary, Chaz and Peter, very entertaining. Thank you very much. Really, really pleased.
Thank you.
Really pleased that you've enjoyed the show. It's been a real joy. We'll start, shall we, with... now, I've tipped him as Academy champion, so if he's not, then I look like an absolute idiot. But I believe it's correct. Daniele Giudici joins us in the chat. Daniele, you must be so pleased with that, mate. You may not have just grabbed that last win in Academy, but, I mean, Rob put in a great drive, didn't he? It seemed like a really good little fight.
Yeah, it was great, honestly. I tried to catch him. I wanted the last win. Couldn't make it. And at the end, I was so exhausted to say, you know what, second place, I tried. I'm so happy. That's the first time I win something.
Well, very well done, mate. I mean, with the year you've had, obviously, as well, from things with work, obviously, with COVID as well, and everything you've done for the charity as well. I mean, the race that we had and the livery that SimStick has had in the Simracersworld Formula 3 series. Anyway, it's a perfect way, I think, to end off your year, and it's heartwarming to see from our end, mate. Did you think that going into this championship and seeing how competitive it was going to be, that you'd have a chance at winning that class?
Absolutely not. To me, it was the first time ever racing a TCR. I saw the level of playing field. It was absolutely ridiculous. The first two races, I utterly binned them. 2 jump starts, I wasn't nowhere to be found. But I have to give a massive thanks to my race engineer. I work with a guy from Italy called Davide from A Cup of Racing, and he gave me a couple of tips, helped me out. He's coaching me for a GT3 championship I'm doing. Gave me a couple of tips about TCR. The result starts improving. So I'm really, really pleased. I really have to thank him for that.
Well, it certainly worked for you, mate, and it's been great to see, like I say. And in all honesty, mate, not to sort of sound biased against the other drivers, but you really do deserve it. You really do after the year you've had. I mean, hats off to you, in all honesty, because it's been, like I say, great to see. I'm sort of lost for words on it, to be honest, because it's just awesome. Really is.
Thank you, Chaz.
Not a problem. Obviously, it's been fun to commentate on. You've always been in there in the scraps in Academy as well, and it seems like just good racing. I mean, these cars always provide it, don't they?
Yeah, they do. There was just a moment I was swearing against Anton because he made a major jinx during the week, and on what was turn 4, turn 5 a lap of the first race, I had been hit and taken out. I was like, no, come on, not like that.
Yeah, it swings one way than the other, doesn't it? Very quickly in this championship.
I know. But honestly, all the guys in the academy were amazing. We have really, really great races all season. I can't thank anybody else than all of them. We're pushing all each other, try to achieve the best. So the best, I would say.
Well, it's been a joy to watch, Daniel, and very well done again from us here at Simracersworld TV. Is there anybody else you want to give a quick shout out to before you go?
Well, of course, my teammate Ross is going to be super pleased to finish this championship with all the bad luck he had. And my team, Sim Stickers, for always supporting me and pushing me to do the best. And as I said, everyone in this league for the professionalism and the organization. Bart is always amazing, as we know. And all the guys, especially the top guys, pushing all us to try and achieve them, something like them and mimic them. That's always a big push to develop. So thank you all.
Smashing. Great to speak to you, Daniele. Once again, well done. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Cheers, Chaz.
Absolute superstar, Daniele, isn't he? I mean, he's done so much this year, obviously, in the fight against COVID as well. And I mean, to wrap up a year with winning your first championship in a car that you've never driven before, that's some good going, that, isn't it?
It is very impressive indeed, and I love the professionalism as well. He says, I'd like to thank my race engineer. How cool is that?
Oh, I
fantastic.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Something else that I absolutely loved in that race, and he knows that this is coming, and I knew that this is why I jumped into the interview booth. Craig Schill joined us in the chat. Craig, first off, let me just say, and I mentioned it before, we wanted to thank you for your services to entertainment, because if I understand the crash would have been frustrating, but it was probably one of the most entertaining things we've seen this season, because we all knew where you were looking. The car was going left. You turned right because the car was going left, and then suddenly the car stopped. What happened in your head when that sort of occurred?
I used a few choice words, shall I say, towards myself.
Well, I mean, it's been obviously your first season in this car, isn't it? In the Audi.
I've been on iRacing now for about 2 months.
And how have you found jumping in a league that's as ferocious as this? I mean, we've seen some brutal racing, as it was described in the chat.
A learning curve, and I must admit, just even following these guys, I've learned a hell of a lot. Well, yeah, it's been hard.
I was going to say, like, that's the main thing, isn't it? Like, with iRacing, one thing that I think I could stress to everybody is that you can practice and do lap after lap, but until you see what other drivers are doing, it sort of ticks something in your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wish my practice pace was my race pace, because I'm quite happy with the practices. It's just converting it into race pace, and I'm still I need to be a bit more ferocious when people overtake me, rather than just get out of the way.
Well, it all comes with time, mate. Trust me, it certainly is a steep learning curve, no matter what you do on iRacing. But in a league like this, I mean, me and Peter have said it all year that it's just been so feisty. It's great to do. Have there been any specific highlights for you this season?
I've got to say, that round's probably been the best performance I've had. And I know the circuit rather well, because I've marshalled it for touring cars a few times.
Okay.
So I kind of thought to myself, I know where the touring cars go off here. But yeah, it didn't work. It's completely different.
Well, it certainly looked like you enjoyed yourself out there, mate, and fair play to you for getting stuck in and cracking on with it as well as you did. Do you want to give a quick shout out to anybody?
I suppose I've got to give a shout out to James Leggett,
yeah,
who designed the car for me. I worked with him, and he was the one that got me into iRacing. So, and obviously you guys for the commentary, and I'm glad I made everyone smile.
You did
hopefully I can do it again next season.
Hopefully not with a head-on crash, but hopefully
No.
with some.
I'll try and avoid that.
With some nice performances. But yeah, I like the shout out to James. I've known James a few years. One of the first people I ever met on iRacing, and he certainly is a talented designer. So fair play.
Yeah, this is his fault that I'm forking out so much money.
Well, great to speak to you as always, Craig. Well done this season, mate, and hopefully we'll see you next time round.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers. And well, we have to speak to, of course, our consistency class champion. Not quite the way he would have wanted to win it in terms of his rival Paul King in that one, but Anton Dupin, a win in the final race in class. You must be, well, you're smiling a lot in your profile picture. You must be smiling a lot now.
Yes, I am. I'm really happy. It didn't look too good. I kind of messed up my quali, had some troubles in the first race, so yeah, I thought it was going to be difficult. And then before the last race, actually, I was 1 point ahead of Paul, and we were side by side on the start grid. But stress just got the better of me, and I missed my start completely. So I thought it was over, but then Paul unfortunately crashed. So yeah, it was kind of a roller coaster.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like it, and I mean Donington Park's a hell of a circuit to do it at as well. It just, no matter where we looked, I mean, you had an epic battle with Jessica Martin as well, and it just seemed that it wasn't an easy drive to wrap up the championship, was it?
No, certainly not. Okay, the battle in race 3 wasn't necessary anymore, but I wanted to end up on a high, and also for the team championship, you try to get as many points as you can. Also because I knew that Paul had retired, I knew that I could afford to lose a few places. So yeah, I decided to go for it. But yeah, Donington is a very difficult track to overtake as well. So even if you are faster, it's not at all guaranteed that you can get past.
Yeah, that's very true. We saw quite a lot of that tonight into the chicane. You know, manoeuvres that either just weren't quite pulled off to perfection, or there was a bit of argy-bargy here and there. But I mean, this season has shown us all of the very beautiful aspects of touring car racing, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was an incredible season. I never had such close racing. There wasn't, I think, 1 minute in one race where I was on my own. I constantly had a car or a half second in front of me or a half second behind me, but like just constantly battling. Every small mistake you lose 2-3 places. So yeah, it was epic fun.
Well, very well done on winning the Consistency Championship from us, mate. And, well, you know the question. Do you want to give a quick shout-out to anyone?
Yeah, first of all to Bart for putting this all together. He created a great championship, and I can't wait for the next season. Then also all the drivers who were very respectful on track. I didn't have much incidents other than racing incidents, so that's always nice. And of course, yeah, my team, especially Keanu, my teammate, who is really fast. I could learn a lot from him, and it's always fun with him as well. So, and then last of all, you two for the broadcast. It's always entertaining to watch the races back the next day. So thank you for that.
Not a problem at all. Well, we're glad you enjoyed it, Anton, and hopefully we'll see you next season to defend your crown, mate.
Without a doubt.
Smashing. Cheers, Anton. Thank you.
Thank you.
And, well, one more final word, obviously, Peter. He wasn't in the race, but we can at least get his name up because he was in the session. Series organiser Bart Daleman joins us in the chat. Now, Bart, this series, admittedly, it was put together last minute, obviously, as it was meant to be a GT4 league originally, but it's worked out really well, hasn't it? It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very hard work to get it off the ground because the GT4 league wasn't getting a lot of interest, and then last minute we changed it to TCR, and then yeah, the interest was high. People really love the series. I got a lot of feedback, and I'm happy to all the drivers to take time to help me create it, because it's actually a format that the drivers chose all by themselves. So it's a guarantee for enjoyment.
It's certainly been a guarantee for enjoyment up here in the commentary box, hasn't it, Peter?
Yeah, we've not been short of things to say. That's for sure, and it's we've almost had no time to use our puns as well. The whole big catalogue of puns that we've got, and our bad jokes. The action's been so good.
Yeah, it really has. And I mean, just for you, Bart, is there any particular highlights that you've enjoyed this season?
Just I don't really like the car, because I tried it in the preseason practices, but I was like, how can people drive this? But when I watch the streams, the racing is so close. There's so much happening. I really enjoyed watching the races. So every week I was really on the edge of my seat, trying to support the Simracersworld driver, but yeah, Gregory was not up to pace this season. Go a little bit faster, mate. So yeah. But yeah, it was a great season, and I want to thank all the drivers for being good sportsmen during the whole season.
Yeah, it really was amazing. And of course, there is the news of a potential upcoming season as well, isn't there?
Yeah, indeed. So the registration for the full season in January will start next weekend. It will be on the same time as the F3 season registration. And I think the first round will stay on Tuesdays like it is now, and I think it will start at the 19th of January. So people were asking it, and they will get it.
Fantastic news. Well, I look forward to watching that. Hopefully, Peter and I will be on the broadcast team for that, because it's just been a mega season. And well done to you as well, Bart, for putting up with all of it. I mean, I know how difficult it can be to run leagues, and I mean, you've done it before with Simracersworld Formula 3, but this was a whole different kettle of fish, wasn't it? It was very feisty this season.
Yeah, it's another breed of drivers. The F3 drivers are more chilled and relaxed, and these drivers were putting fight off the track as well. So it was, but they were most of the time they were very nice to me. So so that's why there's the next seasons.
Indeed. Well, I really, really do hope that we have as much fun next season as we have in this one. But anybody in particular that you want to thank, Bart, before we round out the show?
Yeah, I want to thank Z1 Dashboard for sponsoring the series. I hope they also enjoyed how we run this league, and we hope that they stay on board for the full season. I want to thank you guys, because the bad jokes and puns were on to par with the level of the league. And thanks to all the drivers for participating, and be good sports.
Well, thank you very much, Bart. Pleasure to speak to you as always. Well done on such a great season, and we'll see you in 2021, I'm very sure.
Yeah, see you guys.
Cheers. Right then, Peter, how do we round out a season like that, really, other than with some terrible puns, I'm sure?
Well, I think the best way to round it out is that we're going to get to do it all over again in just a little over a month's time. It's going to be a lot of fun to do it and to commentate on the series. And I suspect that over these few critical weeks, there's going to be a lot of drivers putting in some big hours of practice and wanting to know what circuits we're going to and what have you as well. So it's because according to Guinness, he's laid down the marker of what's possible. And I think there's a lot of guys who are close enough to him that feel that a bit of extra practice might be able to make the difference. So we're going to be in for a thriller. And also, of course, as you know, Chaz, it's very much a community in the sim racing world. And good drivers, they chat to one another. They say, oh, this is a good series. This is good fun to race in. And I think we'll see some more names coming into the series. And, big pack grids again. It's going to be great fun.
It really is, and it's been an absolute joy to commentate with you again this season, mate, so thank you very much. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. As ever, I'm sure that Ian will continue to tell us how hilarious we aren't. But in all honesty, everybody, it's been a real joy, and we do hope you have enjoyed the show. Apologies for any technical issues we've had mid-season, but we promise that we will bring you even more action next time round here on Simracersworld TV. We'll see whether Peter and I keep our jobs. And of course, don't forget that tomorrow night we have the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series All-Star Race from Imola. Jack Werrell and Edward May on the broadcast duties for that one. But for now, everybody, from me and Peter, it is a very good evening, and we'll see you again very soon. Good night.